Welcome everyone. Welcome back to this video series today. Today I'm joined by Iliyana Pavlova, a mindset coach, okay, that gives people in the business and in real life clarity. She's someone that is going to tell you what you want to hear, even though you don't want to hear it, to tell you how to get the BS out of your life, out of your business, and to get that real focus to the success that you need over 1 month, 6 months, or 12 months. And so forth to achieve the goals you set out around all the noise we have in our lives today. But welcome to the show, Iliyana.
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm very excited about it.
It's great. So obviously, a mindset coach, and we were just talking about it, the clarity that people need to have or to understand around their business and their real lives. There's obviously in the social world and the business world at the moment, I can imagine there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of opinions, decisions, content coming in telling people you should do A or you should do B, don't follow those steps, follow my steps. I can imagine it's quite challenging for a person, a guy or girl trying to start up a business or try to start up their own, consulting services and not knowing which way to go. How would you work through with them in those situations?
That's absolutely true, especially nowadays with all of these global challenge happening. People are really confused. But
Mm-hmm.
even before that, I found out that we're really focused on what we don't want in our life instead of what we really want.
Mm-hmm.
And once you learn the lesson, I don't want this is really important lesson. Then you can understand what you really want. The moment you have this clarity, you can create your big vision, you can create this picture
Mm-hmm.
and put all the pieces of the puzzle there. So you start executing the plan to have the dream. And a lot of people are struggling exactly in this area, understanding what they want and how to execute. They have bigger ideas, they have a lot of desires and wishes to make a change in life, to
Mm-hmm.
leave a mark in the world, but they just don't know how to do it. And this is where I help them get the clarity piece by piece to actually make their dream come true. And of course, like this is where the mind is really involved. We put ourselves in a limitation mode, unfortunately, and we're telling that we cannot do something or we don't believe enough in something. And I support them in this area as well, because without mindset, clarity just doesn't work very well
Mm-hmm.
as well.
No, I love that. Now, one thing I'd say about clarity. So when you talk about pieces of the puzzle, uh, in our family, we're quite big supporters of puzzles. We've always got a puzzle going on the table. We always build in, we're looking at ones the other day and it was like 9,000 pieces and 10,000 pieces, crazy puzzles. So my mind's telling me at the moment around clarity is when I bought a puzzle, I usually look at the box, I see the whole picture and I work towards that. I'm wondering with your experience and the people you bring on, when you're trying to give them clarity, are you trying to give them clarity on the whole picture, or are you trying to work with each person that comes to you with a clarity about the next 30 days clarity or the next 60 days or 90 days? What's that sort of big picture look? Or is it just more, hey, that is an overall big picture and we're going to focus on the smaller things for now?
It's very interesting that you mention it, because like I'm a big puzzle girl. Like I'm doing like 13,000 pieces now.
Crazy.
So I'm like very excited, and I've been very passionate about puzzles like all my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I go with these little things. I guess that's why I mention it here. I think that the most important for a lot of people is to understand that you need to create a big goal for your life.
Mm-hmm.
That these 30 days, 60 days goals, yes, they're very helpful, but at the same time, if you don't know where you're going, this is not going to lead you everywhere.
Yeah.
So I prefer to help people dream big for something which they last at least for 10 years, maybe all their life.
Mm-hmm.
And the way we structure goals a little bit different than the normal goals. And from there, we help them, once you have the big picture, we help them just step by step reverse engineering how you can do it. So let's pretend you have a goal to have, like, for example, one of my goals is to be able to travel to luxury places, exotic vacations with family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to do that, you need to have some sort of financial support or
Mm-hmm.
income coming from somewhere. So you need to come with this idea what you want to do. Once you have this, you need to find out what steps you need to use to get there, to have this financial security. It's not exactly security, but the income coming your way to be able to execute this bigger goal. Another goal which I really have is to help as many people to be happy and find balanced life, because I believe that the work needs to be implemented in your life instead of life into the work. So when you have these bigger goals, you put your brain in a mode where it's looking for answers, because you ask the right answers, how to actually get this big picture and narrow it down to small achievable goals on a shorter terms. And this is how we actually go from the bigger vision slowly to today, what we have today and how we can execute it.
No, that's great. It's definitely puts it into perspective of how many people understand it, and it's definitely always there. You always get told as a kid or as you're growing up, what is your goals, what is your focus, what are you going to become, and it's sometimes you find you find yourself wanting, because people keep on saying to you, like, even if you think of the journey as a kid, you go, okay, you're going to go to university. What are you going to study? I'm going to study whatever. I'm going to study to become a vet, a nurse, a doctor, a lawyer, or so forth. But between that and what you want to become, there's no certainty or clarity between that path of what actually people say to you and go, hey, to become a doctor, very few people say to you, hey, to become a doctor, you've got to do these 20 steps before you even get there, right? Or, you've got to do these 10 steps if you want to become a lawyer before you even get to university. There's a lot of that's lacking in the journey of most people today. In the teenagers, in your 20s, the same thing. When you become a 20-year-old, you go, okay, I want to work for a company. Let's just use a large company I read in the news. Let's use Tesla, for example, who lost a whole lot of money on the stock exchange yesterday. But say, example, I want to work for Tesla. I want to be a manager. So you've got that thought, but there's no like rules here to say, okay, you got to do this. This is the second step. This is the third step, and so forth. And sometimes we need that. Like you said, we need the clarity. We need someone that can give us that bite-sized pieces to help us along that journey. Otherwise, we keep on looking in the future of where we want to go to, but not knowing the few steps up the ladder to actually get us there.
That's right. And unfortunately, everybody's talking about steps. Everybody's talking how we can do this specific thing in, like, let's say 10 steps, and you're already there. But everybody's looking from the perspective, like, I'm already here and I can teach people how I already did it. So I'll tell you how my journey started. It's probably going to be a little bit easier. When I was 15 years old, my dad was telling me, okay, I'm going to give you 50K, create your own business, so you'll never be bored or slowed down or stopped by a boss. Be your own boss. And this is how you're going to be creative, and this is how you're going to manage your time. And this was something he will repeat it to me, like, probably for a long time, years. And I was like, Dad, look, I want to travel first. I want to see what I want to do. And I need to go by what I want, not what it's good for other people. Like, you need to create something which you believe in, so you can promote it and you can make the change.
Yeah.
And years after years, I was like, I want to be employee just to taste how everything, different areas in my life are going. But I was very clear what are the two things I want. That's working from everywhere, from all over the world, and being my own boss. So doing my schedule, still work, but I'm gonna do my schedule. And going through different areas of business and different spheres and different employers and different co-workers, it just made me realize that without listening yourself what you really want to do, it's just impossible to get there. And yes, so many people are telling you do this and this, but in reality these steps are not equal for everybody. They just don't teach you to listen what's inside you, to get what you feel that it's best for you, and leave the rest. They're telling follow this and you're going to find success, and you're following them and you're pretending that you're there, fake it until you make it. I just don't believe that thing, that it's working very well, because so many people try to fake it, and in the next moment their mindset just crush, and they experience failure, and they experience these negative emotions, negative thoughts coming their way, and it was like, why it's not working for me? It's worked for so many people. I saw the testimonials. And you realize that actually you need to follow your own steps. You take and learn from the coaches, from mentors, from books, from role models in your life, how and what works for you, and execute from there. So you need to learn what your path is, where it's going, and support your bigger picture this way.
I love it that you mentioned that, find out what works for you. It's so true at the moment on social media, on the business world, LinkedIn, Facebook, and so forth. We're reading, everyone has, hey, here's 10 steps, here's 5 steps, here's the 3 steps I followed, and this changed my business, or this changed my life. And it's all sort of cookie cutted, rebranded packaged content or packaged knowledge, let's say that. And people still fall for it. People still go, great, I'm gonna buy this guy's program because it's a 10 step to get me to successful. It's the 5 steps to me that's going to make me mortgage free, or it's the 2 steps that's going to make it that I've got more focus on a day. And realistically, yes, that will work for a certain percentage, being a small percentage of most people, or it'll work a little bit for yourself. But we need to try and stop this whole feel that it's going to work for everyone. And a lot of people that unfortunately don't have the knowledge or the backing or the mentorship to say that is applicable for that much of what you want to achieve, and everything else has to be reflective to yourself and your own way of doing it. The way I do things and the way you do things is totally different. So why would your 10 steps and my 10 steps be exactly the same? And it's, I try to talk to people all the time about it, going, and they come to me and they're like, oh, I found this really good program. I found this. I said, yeah, great. But understand that might only give you the small foundation what you need. It's not, there's no program, I truly believe, out there that for you specifically as an individual will give you everything that you need, because it could never know you that personal if it's a group program that's been sold to 1 million people, 10 million people. It's made for the general person within that group. So, talking about in that sense, I'm guessing the journey of someone coming to you and, asking about the clarity and the mindset coach, I'm guessing you would work them through a certain journey, and sit them down and talk them through what they're looking to, and then build a unique and specific program for themselves over a certain period of time. Would that be the case?
Yes and no. I just want to back up a little bit for what you said earlier. That unfortunately, you're totally correct. I want to agree with you that there's so many programs which are telling like in 10 steps or 7 steps, you'll be successful, have whatever I have. That's great. But in reality, in our mind and in our lives, we're never satisfied with success fully, completely for a longer time. As a humans, we're designed to grow, we're designed to learn and experience new emotions, which are stronger and stronger on the positive side, I mean, on the success side, over and over again. So when we step on a specific part in our life, we feel successful. But our success doesn't really stop there. Our emotions doesn't stop there, because we keep learning, we keep meeting new people, we get to know new things. And this is where we create a new idea, probably in our life, in our minds, and then in our life. And then some product and maybe a new connection. So that's why we need to keep growing over and over again.
Yep.
And this program which you ordered, which you bought, which you followed, it's not really working, because people think like once I get this done, then we are done for life. That's not how business works. That's not how mindset works as well. So this is why so many programs doesn't really support people all the way through the journey, and they think that one investment in themselves and in their future, it's enough. I've been working with coaches for many years already, and I even have 2 right now. And I believe that the more you support yourself in your journey, the easier your journey, because you can learn so many things in years, maybe months, instead of in a decade, when you have seen the traps over there on the road. So what I'm helping people to do is to realize that they have the opportunity and the ability to have everything in their life. They can have it all, but they're only one decision away. And this is the thing which I really enjoy, because that's my thing. Like, you're only one decision away from your dream life. And this decision is not the only decision you make in your life. You make a decision in every step in your life. So when you keep making decisions supporting your dream and moving you forward in the direction where you want your life to be and where you want to go, it's actually the secret how you can get it. And from there we work on the clarity as well. So yeah.
One thing I just wanted to get to is, obviously, in the world we are today, in the real time we are today, we're in a bit of uncertainty depending where you are in the world. We're coming through a situation that's never been seen or understood or felt before worldwide. Most people coming through the situation, being in lockdown, not in lockdown, there's a lot of uncertainty and unsure about themselves. People are coming out of it, not having jobs, not having sure of where their next paycheck's going to come from, or an income, and so forth. What would you put out to the listeners at the moment, or the people out there, saying, the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, about sort of the mindset of working through and so forth? What do you think are the key steps for people right now to take sort of smaller control of their lives, as we have a lot of uncertainty?
So I feel like whatever is happening right now was really needed. Like, really, really needed. This is gonna help so many people to realize what's missing in their life. And one of the things which I strongly believe is that there is a blessing in every situation in our life. So yes, we might be laid off. Yes, it's normal. Some people to die, the old ones, people who didn't find the right help at the right moment, and this is really sad. But for the rest of people who move forward and they keep living their life, they need to learn like very important lessons from what is happening right now. So for me, these lessons are, we need to appreciate the people who are around us. It's not only family, like kids and beloved ones, like wife, husband, also your parents who are taking care of you, also the people who are delivering food to your house now when, also the people who are in the store and putting the supplies on the shelves when everything run out. Because without that, without the people who are making the big all of these foods to get to the stores, we wouldn't be able to have access to food. We need to also value people who are supporting us during our lives. That could be teachers, doctors, lawyers, all of these professions which we depend on, and we don't really say a thank you to them. Like, I figure out that we are so into our mind and in our life, and it just, you need to open for grace. You need to open up to be grateful for what you have at the moment. And that's a really important thing which we need to do right now, because so many negative thoughts are going through our mind, so many negative situations are happening in our life. And I believe that this is happening because life is guiding us to move to the right direction where we need to go. So for you, for example, if you've been laid off, right? You don't have a job, you're very stressed out. How are you going to pay your next rent, maybe bills, maybe mortgage? For a person like that, I believe that this is a clear message that you need to rethink what's really the reason why this is happening for you, and find what your inner voice is telling you. Maybe this is not the job which you really want. Maybe you are asking friends and family to start something and help you with something new because you want to change your life, and this is the right moment to do it. Other people who are going to the same job, but they were so stressed and they were so busy, they didn't have time to spend it with the family and enjoy kids time, right? Now is the time to acknowledge this, that you had this full month, even more than a month already, where you are able to reconnect with your kids, you are able to reconnect with your partner, and realize that you're missing so many important moments in your life, which You never see how your kid is walking for the first time, how your kid is probably eating for the first time by itself, so, or reading or singing, like special concert or festivals,
Hmm.
things where your kid is partitioning. If you are younger, you have the opportunity to think like what really you want to do in this life,
Yep.
because you're maybe 20 to 25, and you're like, I don't know what to do, like I'm in the school or university, and I'm like, I just don't know. And now you have the time to research, to read more books, to reconnect with friends, and do a lot of things which you didn't have time to do before, or which you didn't think about them.
Hmm.
Find like a hobby and make it passion, and then desire to change the world this way, because that's where the ideas really were born. Like you can see so many companies got born in the last crisis, 2009, like Airbnb, Uber,
Hmm.
Snapchat, Instagram, all of these. They got born in a moment when we were in this kind of recession time, and people got creative because
Yep.
they slowed and they start listening what they really want to do and how they want to do it, and executed it.
I love that. That's a great way to see through the challenges and the problems, the phoenix that comes up out of it, and the creations that come out of it, through being creative and thinking outside the box, and looking at what is important. I think that's a great way to end off our video today with Iliyana. As always, I ask is anyone that's listening, anyone that's watching at the moment, is where can they find you? Where can they reach out to you to ask more questions, or just to talk to you about some problems they're having?
You can always find me in Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. I'm everywhere. And actually, maybe 2 weeks ago, I decided to create a free Facebook group where everybody can join in. I'm doing like a couple of times little coaching ideas, sharing some positivity over there for everybody who wants to get there. They're like more than welcome to ask questions, and I'll make a special video to them for each of them, so they get a little support from me, like absolutely free. Like I'm open to help everybody at the moment, just because like I feel like this is so needed.
Hmm.
And during this coronavirus, I figured out that so many people open to help everybody,
Yeah.
kind of all over the world. Everybody is offering support. Just ask for it, reach out to people, and you'll find the right tools. It's just the universe is going to give you whatever you need right now. Just need to be open to receive.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Thank you so much for the group that you're putting together and what you're offering to everyone that wants to come over. As anyone that's watching at the moment, as always, I'll make sure that Iliyana's links are in where you're watching this video. You'll be able to see it. And to anyone else, as I always say, if you're watching at the moment, if there's something that resonated, if there's something that you listened to and went, yes, that's important, just all I ask is you share it to someone else. Because some days, these days, sometimes all that someone needs is just to hear something that is right, or something that's going to jolt them to put them in the right track and the right mindset of being able to go forward and get the clarity and get the mindset in the right manner to take them to the success, or take them to at least the stabilization of what they're needing. But at the end of the day, to everyone, stay safe, stay beautiful. Until next time, see ya.